Hi Libra, this is your What's the Tea reading. We're gonna see what's happening behind the scenes, behind the surface. I'm not going to give you a huge introduction to this reading, so we're going to get right into your What's the Tea reading, Libra. What is the tea for Libra? What's the tea? Hope you guys are doing well. I think this is like my third try of trying to do your reading, but let's get into it. What's the tea? What's the tea? What is currently brewing behind the scenes that Libra need to know about? Page of Pentacles came out in reverse. And what news message or information is on its way to Libra? The Three of Swords. What secrets, hidden truths, or unseen influences are being revealed at this time? Okay, that's a lot. You got the Hierophant, the Star, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords. Okay, who or what is talking, watching, gossiping, and focusing their energy on Libra right now? Knight of Wands, Ace of Cups. And what unexpected development or plot twist is coming up next? Ten of Swords in reverse. What is the outcome of the situation that is currently unfolding behind the scenes for Libra? Ten of Wands. And underneath the deck, Two of Swords. This is kind of interesting, Libra. You got Taurus energy, Aquarius. What y'all got going on, Libra? So this already feels much more like all the other readings. The first thing that stands out is this Two of Swords underneath everything. Wow. That's the true foundation of the reading. Somebody has been avoiding a decision, avoiding a conversation, avoiding the truth, or sitting in a stalemate. Okay, there is a I know I need to deal with this, but I don't want to deal with it yet energy underneath this entire spread. But what's brewing behind the scenes, this Page of Pentacles reversed. Something is stalled, a message wasn't sent, an opportunity wasn't taken. Okay, someone talked themselves out of making a move. This doesn't feel like a complete ending. It feels more like hesitation. Almost like someone keeps picking up their phone and putting it back down. Or someone keeps saying they'll handle something tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week, okay? And next week becomes next month. All right, but the news message or information here is the Three of Swords. This isn't necessarily fresh heartbreak. For many of you Libras, this feels like information surrounding a disappointment, a separation, a truth, a betrayal, regret, or emotional wound here. The message coming in may reveal why something happened the way it did. For some of you Libras, this is a truth that hurts. For others of you, this is a truth that heals because at least now they finally know. Um, the Hierophant here with the star and the Page of Wands and also the Knight of Swords came out. This is where the reading becomes interesting. Okay, behind the scenes, there is movement, there is hope, there is communication energy here. There is someone wanting to take action. Okay, the Hierophant says someone is thinking seriously. Okay, the star says there's still hope attached to the situation. And this Page of Swords says curiosity is growing. I'm sorry, the Page of Wands. Uh, the Knight of Swords says eventually someone gets tired of waiting and charges forward. Okay, this doesn't feel like an energy that wants to stay silent forever. Okay, something wants to be said. But who's focused on you here? This Knight of Wands with the Ace of Cups. And that's just how it came out. That's who's focused on you. This feels like a masculine fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone carrying those qualities. They're passionate, they're impulsive, they're attracted, okay? But this Ace of Cups changes everything because beneath the attraction, there are genuine emotions. This isn't just physical chemistry. This looks like somebody who feels something and doesn't quite know what to do with it. But the plot twist here is this Ten of Swords reversed. The thing everyone thought was over isn't over here. Okay, something's been beginning to recover. Something begins healing, something starts getting back up here. Okay, a situation that looked finished starts showing signs of life again. The plot twist isn't a new situation. The plot twist is an old situation refusing to stay dead. All right. The outcome here is the Ten of Wands. This is where reality comes in. Something has to be addressed. Something has been carried for too long. Somebody can no longer pretend the burden isn't there. Okay, the outcome isn't avoidance. The outcome is facing what has been weighing heavily on the situation. Okay, but the real tea here uh feels like this is about avoidance fully reaching its expiration date. Someone has been sitting on feelings, sitting on communication, sitting on a decision, sitting on a truth. Okay, at the center of this reading is a disappointment or heartbreak that never fully healed, but nobody sees it. But what nobody sees is that hope is still alive behind the scenes. Okay, someone is thinking seriously. Someone is becoming more serious, curious. Someone is getting closer to speaking up here. Okay, there's a strong attraction here, but there are also real emotions attached to it. The biggest surprise is that a situation that appeared finished isn't actually finished at all. It begins to show signs of recovery, but recovery comes with responsibility here. Okay, the burdens, the misunderstandings, the unresolved issues, and the emotional weight all have to be dealt with before the situation can move forward. So, a decision that has been postponed for a long time is getting harder and harder to avoid, and eventually someone reaches a point where they have to choose a direction here. What else? Mm. Oh, okay, okay. So I asked what else. The Knight of Cups popped out before I can even shuffle with the Nine of Swords. What else? What else for Libra? Six of Pentacles in reverse. The Emperor. Two of Swords. What else? Four of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. King of Swords in reverse. Give me one more. The Moon. Underneath it all, the Six of Swords. So we got Aries energy, Cancer, Pisces energy. Okay, so now we're getting into the deeper layer of the tea, Libra. What's interesting is that this second layer doesn't change the story, it confirms it. It explains why everything feels stuck. And again, the Six of Swords underneath everything says the situation is trying to move away from conflict, confusion, stress, or emotional turbulence into calmer waters. Okay, the problem is that not everyone is cooperating with that process. What else is going on? Knight of Cups, Nine of Swords. This is someone who has feelings but is stressing themselves out about those feelings. Okay, this isn't carefree romantic energy. Someone's overthinking, worrying, losing sleep, replaying conversations, wondering what if. Okay, so somebody wants to approach emotionally, but their mind keeps getting in the way. The heart wants one thing, the head is creating 10 different reasons not to do it. The Six of Pentacles reverse. Okay, there's been an imbalance here. Somebody may feel they gave more than they received. Okay, things weren't equal, effort wasn't matched, emotional investment wasn't returned. Okay, this is one of the reasons the situation became difficult in the first place. The Emperor here with the Two of Swords. This is huge. Someone wants control. Someone wants certainty. Someone wants to know exactly what they're doing before making a move. But the Two of Swords says they still haven't fully decided. So you have someone trying to appear strong, logical, and in control while secretly sitting at a crossroads. Okay, this is stubborn energy. I'll make a move when I'm sure. The problem is they may never feel completely sure. This Four of Pentacles here with the Seven of Wands. This is defensive energy, guarded energy, protective energy. Someone is holding on to their position, holding on to their feelings, their pride, their boundaries. They're protecting themselves because they don't want to be hurt again. King of Swords reversed. Now we see the communication problem. Okay, this can be poor communication, withholding information, avoiding difficult conversations, saying one thing while feeling another. Okay, struggling to express emotions honestly. This card explains why so much remains unresolved. Someone knows more than they're saying. Okay, the Moon. And here comes the biggest hidden influence: fear, uncertainty, doubt, assumptions, confusion. The Moon says not everything is visible yet, okay? But someone is navigating emotions they don't fully understand. And this can also point to intuition trying to reveal something while the mind keeps second guessing it. Okay, the story gets clearer. So what looked like a simple delay is actually much deeper. Someone has genuine feelings here. The Knight of Cups confirms that. but they're also carrying anxiety, uncertainty, and emotional stress here. There's a history of imbalance that hasn't been fully resolved. Someone feels like things weren't fair, equal, or properly reciprocated. Now you have an individual who wants control over the situation but is um, unable to make a final decision. Because of that, they become guarded, defensive, protective. They hold everything close to the chest, okay? And instead of communicating clearly, they retreat into silence, assumptions, or overthinking. Okay, the moon says there are still truths beneath the surface that haven't fully emerged yet. Okay, so the real tea, this reading is not showing someone who doesn't care, it's showing someone who cares enough to be afraid. Okay, afraid of making the wrong choice, afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of repeating old mistakes, okay, afraid of not getting the outcome they want. So the situation is trying to move towards peace, resolution, but before that can happen, someone has to stop hiding behind indecision, overthinking, and emotional walls. So the strongest message I'm getting from this layer is the blockage isn't a lack of feelings. The blockage is fear, uncertainty, and an inability to fully trust what those feelings mean here. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple more. Give me a couple more. Oh, wow. So, as I said, I'm going to get a couple of more what's the tea messages. You get the Ace of Wands. What else? Why the Ace of Wands? Mm, the Fool, the Queen of Cups. Give me two more. Aquarius energy. Give me two more. King of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Four of Wands at the bottom here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so now this is the layer that completely changes the atmosphere of the reading. Up until now, we were looking at fear, the indecision, the overthinking, the avoidance, the emotional walls, and the communication issues. But this new layer answers the question, okay? What is underneath all that fear? And the answer is pretty clear, okay? What's the T? Ace of Wands with the Fool. Something wants a fresh start, not a recycled version of the past, okay? This could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, not another round of confusion, a genuine fresh beginning. The Ace of Wands is inspiration, desire, momentum, and a spark. The Fool is taking a leap, taking a risk, starting a journey. This feels like the energy that is tired of standing still. Okay, after all the Two of Swords, the Moon, the Nine of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles energy, suddenly we see a doorway opening. Somebody is beginning to think, okay, what if I just go for it? Uh, Now we see the emotional truth here with the Queen of Cups. Underneath all the logic, fear, control, avoidance, there are genuine feelings here. Okay, the Queen of Cups is emotionally mature, compassionate, intuitive, loving. This doesn't feel superficial. Okay, it feels heartfelt. King of Pentacles, now we're getting serious. The King of Pentacles doesn't chase fantasies. The King of Pentacles thinks about stability, commitment, okay, long-term outcomes, security, building something real, okay? This is not knight energy. This is grown-up energy. And this Two of Cups, there it is. Okay, this is the card that's been hiding behind everything. Mutual connection, mutual feelings, mutual interest, mutual recognition here. Okay, the reason this reading has felt so heavy is because this isn't showing one-sided energy. The cards keep circling back to a bond that both sides are aware of in some way. And then this Four of Wands underneath. Wow, this is what really catches my attention. Because the reading started with avoidance, fear, overthinking, imbalance, communication problems. 2112 I just saw on my timer. But now the foundation becomes the Four of Wands, okay, which can point towards reunion, stability, celebrations, coming together, building a foundation, relationship milestones, okay? This is one of the strongest stability cards in the deck. So, Libra, if I was to tell this whole story over again, it feels like there has been a long period of emotional hesitation. Someone has been trapped between their feelings and their fears. They've been overthinking, avoiding decisions, holding back communication, and trying to maintain control. But underneath all of that, there are genuine emotions that haven't disappeared. Okay, the more we dig into the spread, the more the cards keep revealing that the fear isn't the real story. 2211 and 2212 on my timer. The real story is what exists underneath the fear. And underneath the fear, we find emotional connection, mutual recognition, desire for a new beginning, long term potential, a chance to build something more stable than before. Okay, the Fool and the Ace of Wands suggest that eventually someone becomes more willing to take a chance than they are afraid of taking one. Okay, the Queen of Cups and this King of Pentacles show emotional maturity meeting practical stability. The Two of Cups shows the connection itself, and the Four of Wands shows what that connection could potentially grow into. Fear and avoidance stop driving the situation. Okay, so the real tea is this reading started looking like a story about heartbreak, indecision, anxiety, and emotional walls. But the deeper we went, the more it became a story about someone trying to overcome those obstacles because there is something they genuinely value on the other side. Okay, the strongest message now is the fear is real, the hesitation is real, but the feelings appear to be just as real, and eventually the desire for a new beginning becomes stronger than the desire to stay protected. So, this is what I have, Libra. I'm not going to hold you guys. Make sure you guys stay protected, stay grounded. Most of all, stay blessed and stay rooted in the truth, you guys. All right, let me know if this resonated. Drop your zodiacs down in the comment section. Um, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. 2424 on my timer. Bye, Libra.